bad weather all week, so today was cold, tomorrow's going to be colder, tomorrow's supposed to be like in the 30s. So, all you guys that have been participating, Twin Day yesterday, we appreciate you participating. All you guys that were joining us today, thank you. So we just go straight to the dorm and go big, huh? You're already dressed for it. So, thank you. Tomorrow is wear your Riverside gear. Alright, and at the beginning of the school year, we gave everybody a shirt, right, that's got that Riverside on it. Now, if you didn't get one, after the assembly, we have some over here, but then also we have a shirt for everybody over there. So after the assembly, once our speaker gets to speaking, we'll let you go over there and get you a shirt. So there's a shirt for everybody, all right, to get a shirt. All right, so we got it in 4X, and small. So anyway, so we, what we did was this, we moved the afternoon activities to next week. We moved the carnival to next week. It's supposed to be like 67 degrees, so the carnival is going to happen next Wednesday. All right, it's supposed to be like 67 degrees, and so we have like the inflatables coming. We're fortunate this year. We have a lot of clubs and organizations that we set up, some games for you guys to play. So we're looking forward to that. The chalk art. We have the high school and junior high chalk art. We move that to Monday. We just do it the same day, all right? So first place is $25, second place is $20. So the theme, somewhere around River, stay drug-free, or something like that. Something like don't do drugs. Okay, I don't want to see a marijuana leaf and nothing on it. Okay, no message. So, all right. So anyway, so we look forward to that. But we're still doing the tomorrow wear your gear, and then Halloween costume contest. We're still going to do that, and that's going to happen at lunchtime. So we have prize money for that. We also have staff. We also have a gas card for staff, and they participate. Okay, and so the classes that all participate in the door decoration contest. Appreciate you guys for participating. I think we had an overwhelming 3 classes participate this year. That's in junior high and high school. So let me tell you who the winners are. Okay? But first, I want to give away some money. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. Let me wait on that. This right here is the winner of the guessing right here. So we put $10 on there. The total amount in here was $377, and the person that got the closest was, is it Simon or Simeon Owens? With 372. So come on up here and get this. You got to share your. Is he here?
7th grader.
7th grader. Okay. All right. So we get this to him. Let him know if you want. All right. Good. All right. Good. So 7th grader won. I'm glad to hear that. Now, before I announce the winners of the door decoration, guys, Red Ribbon Week, this doesn't happen, but just student council, if they look like that, and you may see all the flyers, they only have student council and all this, but there's a lot of people that you don't see that are behind the scenes that make this happen. So I want to thank Dr. Dudley, the IHS Behavior Health, they're the ones that provided the t-shirts, College Teen Suicide, they provided the prizes for the chalk art, one of them. Administration has done a lot for you guys this year, so we really appreciate the administration, Ms. Wilson and her team, and then Recreation, Ms. French and her group. And then there's the Apache Club, the Color Guard, and all those different ones that's making this week possible, so we want to say thank you to that. And all of you that participated yesterday in the color run, we want to say thank you for participating. I know it's a little cold, but you still did. So here are your winners for the door decoration. Okay, and so I didn't choose them. I forgot last month that we asked somebody to judge them, and I forgot they reminded me yesterday that they were judging. So they're the ones that did the judging. Okay, so 3rd place for this junior elementary is Miss Walker. All right. 2nd place, guys all really like treats, like soda, chips, candy bar. Second place is Miss Mosier. And your first place is Miss Judith Hunter. So Miss Hunter, we usually get this in French, how many students you have, when you want it, and all that, okay? And I'll give the other teachers and then we can see when they want that. All right, here goes your high school. High school, third place. And they were working on it real hard today to this afternoon. Mr. Parrish. Second place, Miss Martine. And your winner is Mr. Chateau. So Mr. Chateau, we'll give it down, I'm going to give this French, so that way he can get his pizza. Okay? All right, so we participate in the schools across the United States with Red Ribbon, and it's just a time to recognize, you know, our fight against drugs and your fight mainly against students. Was put together for students, and if you look at some statistics, one of the highest, you look at blacks, whites, natives, and the population, or the people that take drugs and use drugs more than any other is Native Americans, because it's our people that are doing it, relatives. And so we have to do something to fight that. We got to be willing to say, you know, I choose to be drug-free, I'm not ashamed of it, you know, and so you cannot be influenced by your friends, you know, or neighbors, and you just say, no, I choose not to be drugged. All right, and we take a look at our situations, watch the reservations, and where you live, and where you come from, how does that affect your neighborhood, how does that affect your family, how does that affect, you know, your people? So what are you going to do to take back, you know, your tribe, or to do something to fight that? Okay? And I know a lot of us sit here, we have people that's probably died because of drugs, that's probably died because of alcohol, or drug abuse. And so you got to be able to be willing to be man enough or woman enough to say, you know, I choose not to do drugs. I'm not ashamed. It doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me, you know, a weak person because I say no. And so it takes, isn't it? It takes more strength to say no and refuse not to. We're worried about what friends think, and just to say, no, I'm not doing drugs. You know, I can do what you think. I just choose not to do it. I see what it does to my family. I have a brother, I have a sister, a cousin. Because of drugs, because of alcohol, you know, it's committed suicide. So this is what drugs do to us. So you got to make up your mind. You got to just say, I'm not doing it. All right. And so we beat that. And that's going down. It's not affecting your people and your family. Okay. So we're fortunate today. Our guest speaker is she's from this area. That's Beaty's daughter. And I have a bio to read, but I'm just so thankful that she will be able to be with us today. And so I remember, I don't even know if she knows this, but we have one of the basketball coaches that was in this community. He's well known. He's won like 3 state champions, and he was just really well known for his basketball. You know, taking teams to state, and he used to coach here in Darko. He said about Dakota that he's probably, when he was here, probably the best basketball player that he's seen come through the Anadarko system. You know, while she was in school, while he was coaching her. So think about how many people has gone through Anadarko. We even know anything about Anadarko, like from this community, you know how much they've won. They just won state last year in Anadarko, the girls. So they're just awesome competitive. They're real good at basketball in that area. So this is what, this is Dakota's bio. Let me read it. So you can get over, you gotta blow stuff up, get it closer to your eye. So Dakota Beaty, she's from Anadarko, Oklahoma, and she's from the, it says, how do you say that? Gross? I'm gonna let her say that. The Sioux tribe of North Dakota and Montana. She's enrolled in the Member Cattle Nation of Oklahoma. She graduated from Oral Roberts University with an undergraduate degree in 2017. She maintained a 3.6 GPA. She currently pursuing her master's degree in professional counseling. After her master's degree, she plans on pursuing her doctorate degree in order to help the Native community. She began playing basketball at the age of 5. She received a full-ride scholarship to Oklahoma State University. She played there for 2 years and then decided to transfer to Oral Roberts University, that's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She played there for 2 years and then decided to transfer to Oral Roberts University in 2015. The girl has many accomplishments in basketball. These are some of her accomplishments. In 2012, she's a state champion. 2013, she was Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year. 2013, she's grade high school All-American. 2013, she is Jim Thorpe Player of the Year. 2013, she's Oklahoma All-Stater. She had a full-ride scholarship to Oklahoma State University. 2 NCAA tournament appearances. Played in the NCAA Sweet 16. Summit League first team. She's 2-time academic athlete, and she was recently, listen to this, recently nominated for the 2019 NCAA Woman of the Year. So that's right. So she has asked that we open this up with a prayer, so we're one of the honors to do that. So can we stand, please? Let's pray. All right, let's pray. You are still in prayer. All right, Father, we just appreciate your mercy, your grace, and we thank you that we gather, and we thank you that you've always been good to us. You've always been good to our people. As Native American people, you've always taught us to pray to you, to reach out to you, and we've always, from generations to generations past, seek your face, and we cry out to our Creator to lead us and guide us, our ancestors. And so, Father, as we sit here today, as they go forth, God, we pray that you would just lead them and guide them, and that they will have a peace in their heart, that you would give them direction, Lord. And so we thank you for each and every student that is here today. We just pray for their families. They may be far away. They may be from South Dakota, from Arizona to New Mexico to Mississippi. We send prayers out to their families at this time now. We want them to know that we're thinking about them and we care for them. And so, Father, we just ask your blessing upon this time as we gather and we just celebrate life and what you have done for us. In the name of Christ, amen.
Dakota, and he meant to say Gromon. But my mom works here at Riverside. I grew up here. I grew up playing in this gym. Today I'm going to talk to you about, it's going to be a hard conversation, and I'm going to talk about sexual abuse, suicide, domestic violence, alcohol abuse, all these disparities that us as Native Americans face. It's a hard conversation. It's a hard one for me to have because I haven't spoken about it a lot. I've spoken about it one time in front of people. But these conversations need to be had, and we need to have them and talk about them and get this narrative going because we're losing our people at a rapid rate. So I grew up here. I went to Anadarko when I was in 3rd grade. I decided that I was going to play Division I basketball, and so I sat down with my mom and dad and I just talked to them about, these goals I wanted to have because I knew I was pretty good at basketball when I was like in 1st or 2nd grade. And so my mom asked me what are you going to do to achieve these goals? And I was just like, well, I'm just going to stay in the gym and do my homework and all this stuff. So it gets easy up until you're about middle school and high school. Middle school is when I had friends that would, they were going out and they started to party and date boys and stuff, and I've talked to my mom about it, and she just said that, like, that's not going to get me to where I want to be. So high school is when it really hit me. My friends were partying, and you kind of want to go out and do stuff and have fun with your friends, and that's okay. But as natives, we face so many things before we're even born, and it's this intergenerational trauma. And so they were out partying, and I was like, I'm just going to stay in the gym. I'm going to work hard as I can to get to where I want to be. So when I was going into my junior year, I got offered to go play at Oklahoma State University, and I committed there, and I played 2 years there. And while I was growing up, I wouldn't really say I had a role model. I had people and situations I saw that, I said to myself, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be like that person. I want to be better than that. And so I go play at Oklahoma State for 2 years, and my freshman year there were only 6 Division I Native American girls playing basketball, and another one of them was my cousin. And so, I just had to work really hard, and I knew when I got there that it was going to be tough. And I went to OSU, and that's in Stillwater, and I didn't see any natives on campus, and I called my mom the first day, and I had a hard workout in the morning, and then I had study hall, and I had another workout, and weights, and I called my mom, and I just told her, like, Mom, I want to come home, I'm not used to being around. It was predominantly white people, and I'm like, I'm not used to being around white people, because I grew up, around natives, and Anadarko was 84% Native American, and I wanted to go home, I wanted to quit. So she just, told me, I keep working hard, like I'm there for a reason. And so I played 2 years there, and then I transferred to Oral Roberts University. And ORU is in Tulsa, and it's a private Christian school. So as Native Americans, we are already stereotyped, and just a couple of experiences. So I went to ORU, and ORU has a lot of people from all over the world, like all kinds of different nations. And me and my sister Ashley were walking to class, and this guy stopped us, and he was like, he said, "Where are you guys from?" And I was like, "We're from here, like Oklahoma." And he said, "No, you guys look," he thought we were like from Spain or something like that. And I said, "No, we're Native American." And he was like surprised. He was like, "I thought you guys all got wiped out like a long time ago." And I was like, "No, we're right here, still here." And so, he had no idea. And he was from Ghana. And he thought we got wiped out. And so another one, I was like enrolling, and my card said I was Native American. And she was a white lady, and she asked me, and this is in 2017, so it's just beyond. She asked me if I still looked at the TV, and I tried not to be rude, but I was just like, no, I have a house, so. And then another one, I was in English class, and there are a couple of them that, the first 2 were, I can laugh it off, but the second 2 they really got to me and they made me mad. So I'm in AP English, and I had to give a presentation, and so I'm giving this presentation. I said I was from Anadarko, and one of the people in my class asked me if I was Native American, and I was like, yeah. And then she asked me if I've ever been to a powwow, and I was like, yes, I have. And she said, isn't that where you guys just drink the whole time? And I got so mad, and I was like, no, I don't know, I couldn't even finish out, I was so mad. And then this past semester, I was in this Native American history class, and it's given at first, I heard we were getting one, and so, I asked the professor, and I was like, well, who's teaching that, is it like a Native teacher, or, and it was she wasn't Native, and I go in there, and she has no idea what she's talking about. She's teaching her history, and she was wrong on all these different subjects, and we were talking about the French and Indian War, and this girl raises her hand, or my teacher's like, do you have any comments? And this girl raises her hand, and she was like, she said, I just really had no idea how hostile Indians were, and how, they're still hostile, aren't they? And so then I just stood up, and I was like, I'm Native American. I I was like, first I would never say that about, another race, but I was like, what would you do if we gave your family smallpox blankets to kill you off, And these are the realities we have to face, and this isn't like centuries ago, this is like 2 generations ago, like my grandparents, their parents. So there are different stereotypes that we're already born with, and people ask me like, I've gotten asked tons of times in college, like, oh, you go to college for free, and there are some tribes that get per caps, but I was like, I just know I worked my butt off on a full-ride scholarship here. And so there are stereotypes that are given to us, and then there are stereotypes that we attribute to. And so I'm gonna show this picture right here. How many of you guys know what commods are? Come on. So this is a picture from, in 1970, this is a whiskey bottle that the U.S. government put in our commodities. And, they didn't do this, they did this on purpose. We survived genocide, we were almost completely wiped out. And so there's a quote that a U.S. general said, and it's, they killed all the buffalo because that's what our primary resource was for the Plains natives. And he said, kill the Indian, save the man. But this is from 1970, and they put whiskey in our commodities, and that's present day genocide, just in a different context. So I just really want to encourage you guys that I know drinking and drugs and, it may seem like a good time, and I know a lot of you come from the reservation. I'm not from the reservation, my mom is. I've been there, but I can't say that I've lived there, but I know that maybe there's not a lot going on, or it seems fun, but we're contributing to these stereotypes, and we're playing into this game that they've tried to wipe us out for centuries. And I just want to encourage you guys to just, say no to it. It's not worth it. I have a little nephew, and he's 1, and his name is James, and he buried his mom. Well, we buried his mom last year. She was only 26. I'm sure there are a lot of you in here that have heard of, cirrhosis of the liver, and it's from just drinking alcohol. And we've survived so much. Our parents have survived so much. I think we're a different generation that we need to, rise up and take a stand against this stuff. So yes, this was whiskey given to us by the U.S. government. And so next what I'm going to talk about is, so I graduated with my undergrad in 2017, and I started working on my MBA, and it was going to be my 5th year, so my senior year, my last year of basketball. And in the summer of 2017, my sister Ashley, I'll show you a picture. This is a picture of me and my sister Ashley at our media day. She took her own life. And she was only 20 years old. And I think a lot of people, I did hear people say like, why would she do that? She has so much going for her, but the truth is depression does not discriminate no matter like who you are. She was only 20, and that was the summer going into my senior year. She was going to be a junior that year. She had good grades. She was the life of the party, and she had tons of friends, and she was the complete opposite of me, and just would terrorize everyone and her teachers. And yeah, she was 20 years old and took her own life, and my family and I, have to live the rest of our lives just dealing with this. And I know there are probably some of you in here that have lost family members to suicide, or friends, or you have suicidal thoughts, and I just want to encourage you guys that you're not damaged for thinking this way or feeling this way. So this past summer I had the chance to go to Alaska, and I spoke, and I worked at camp, and this particular village had the highest suicide rate in the entire world. And it was increasing each year. And this is, I mean, kids as young as 7 years old. And think of your little brother, your little sister, your little cousin. So I was working on my MBA, and I wasn't really interested in it. I battled, I still do, you know, I'm still depressed and anxiety and medication, and I stayed in a mental health facility for a week, and it's just something that I'm always going to have to deal with. But this past summer, you know, I really prayed, and I prayed to God, and I was praying, and He told me just to, you know, I need to do something so that even if there's just one of you in here that takes this message and takes it to heart and just really listens to it, that, you know, I can be that person maybe to help, because I've experienced this. So I switched my major, and now I'm in grad counseling. I'm in grad school right now for counseling, and I just started my classes this past semester, and we're learning about, you know, trauma, and I know maybe a lot of you aren't familiar with intergenerational trauma, but this means just from like a scientific perspective. So trauma is anything you experience, you know, traumatic event, whether that's a car wreck or like losing a family member or, you know, anything like that. But when you face a traumatic event, you can repress it or, you know, not deal with it. And I know that's how I am. I repress a lot, but it actually creates different neural pathways in your brain. And so you feel depressed and anxious and all this, and you can't figure out why. And our ancestors from hundreds of years ago have, you know, the trauma they face, they're getting like wiped out day in, day out, having to fight to survive, and our grandparents are, you know, experiencing all this. So this trauma passes from each generation. So the trauma that my grandmother experienced, you know, when my mom was in the womb, in my grandmother's womb, she experienced the same trauma, and it just gets passed down from generation to generation. And that's what I'm learning in these classes. So we're all born with this trauma because we're minorities, and we're all born with this trauma. And so that's why I switched to counseling, because I really want to just try and help, one, myself, but also just our Native American community, because we need it. Because I thought me and my sister we had so many plans, like after her graduation we were going to go travel and like just fly around and you know, just visit different places to celebrate, and then one day she was not here, and that's it. So I'm learning about trauma and how to heal it and stuff. And Native Americans have the highest disparities in alcoholism, domestic abuse. 3 in 4 Native American women will be sexually assaulted, and this is higher than any other race and ethnicity. And so, you know, you put 4 women, and 3 will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime, if not 4 out of 4. So, domestic violence and the missing, murdered Indigenous women, you know, we're going missing at a rapid rate. So I switched my degree just to I'm sick of it at this point. And when we say no to drugs, and when we say no to alcohol, and when we, you know, figure out what our platform is. My platform happens to be basketball. I have been good at basketball since I was little. I worked my butt off. I had a great career, but that, I mean, in context and in comparison to this, it does not matter. You can have a platform and it's what you do, but it's not who you are. I'm Native American, I believe in Jesus. I pray, and that is who I am in my identity. My identity is not me as a basketball player, and you guys have different platforms, whether you're an artist, or you're good at science, or you can be an athlete, whatever it is, that's your platform. And my platform gave me the ability to get up here and speak because of the level I played at. But now what I'm doing is going around and speaking about, you know, mental health and Native Americans, and how, you know, we were getting wiped out by the government. And when we say yes to alcohol, yes to drugs, yes to all this stuff that isn't good for us, we are wiping ourselves out, essentially. And I think right now, this generation, we need to just, rise up and get sick of it, that our friends are dying, our sisters are dying, our brothers are dying. And I just want to encourage you guys, really just to think about this message and how how it's affected me, my family, and how you guys have been affected by it. So yes, thank you to Mr. Diego. I'll be around if you need to, if you want to talk to me about anything, if you need a prayer, anything, I'll be around, I'll be here for you. So yes, thank you. I'm going to close it out with a word of prayer. Yeah, you can stand. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for each and every person in this room. I just thank you for allowing, for you speaking through me, Lord. I pray that just one person in this room accepts this message, receives this message. Lord, I pray that you watch over every single person in this room and strengthen them just to make smart decisions, Lord, and find out who they are. Lord, I just thank you for everyone in this room, and I pray, amen.
Thank you. Did you do a good job? Let's give her a hand at the side. So here in a minute, we want to let you ask you to come shake our hands, how we thank you. And if you've got some deep issues or something you want to talk about, just hers, I'm sure you can arrange that. Okay, so let me give a couple more announcements, and then we'll release to the door. But so listen, you have everybody's attention. So this Friday kicks off. November was Native American Month, and so we have bring your mocks, so you have your moccasins, make sure you wear those Friday. And then also, so next Monday is, what is it, MPLIW, right? MPLIW is sponsoring that. All right, so listen, Monday we have the MPLIW shirt or the grid shirt. We want you to wear that to show support for our missing Native ladies, okay? So that's going to happen Monday. All right, so make sure you wear that. And also this Martine, after school, we're going to meet at the flagpoles. Are we listening, girls? All right, we're going to have a prayer, and we're going to do a walk to remember those Native ladies that are missing, okay? So that's going to happen Monday. And then Tuesday, we will tell me what are we doing Tuesday? I don't know. What's happening Tuesday for Native American Month? Somebody from Student Council. I'll tell you, I got it right here. You don't go to school. You're going to school. All right, here it is. Listen. If I can see this. All right, so Friday, wear your mocks. Monday, wear your MMIW shirt or a red shirt. All right, November the 5th, this is Tuesday, wear your ribbon shirts or your skirts. Okay? And then on Wednesday, so listen, you get to wear your tribal shirt. All right, that's going to be Wednesday. And then on November the 7th, if you have your regalia here, we want you to wear your regalia, okay, to school. And then don't forget, we're going to have a mini powwow on November the 20th. All right, so we're going to invite some people down. We're going to do special stuff for that. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Before you leave, now leave the gym and tell some student council members that are helping you go in and get ready to get your t-shirts. Okay? And before you leave, give them a shake down. Hold his hand, you get your shirt, and tell her thank you.
Can you nap?
Hello, how are
What are you doing? Are you recording? Can they hear us? Can they hear us? Wow.
Did we say we could get Oh my God.
I'm so glad.
I didn't even know this was going on. I missed the whole thing. Yes. I didn't see it. Sorry. I'm always like, it's all right, babe. It's all right. I'm pretty sure Mr. He's got it on recording. I'll be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.